Do you come home from work exhausted and you wonder, where will I find the energy to write? Well, today we're going to talk about how you can get energized to write, even when you're too tired after work. Hi there, I'm Derek Ralston, and this is Productivity Tips for Writers. If you want some more productivity tips, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Alright, so let's get right into the topic. You come home from work, you're exhausted, you wonder, how will I find the time and energy to write? You have to feed yourself, maybe your pet, maybe your loved ones. And where's the remaining time to write or energy? Well, you're not alone. Some of the most famous writers out there, William Burroughs was an exterminator. Harper Lee was a ticket agent. Charles Bukowski was a mailman, to name a few. And how did the pros do it? It seems really frustrating that you can't find the energy to write, and professionals were able to do it. Well, what they did was they managed their energy. To do that effectively, you need to figure out why you don't have energy. So where is it going? When your bank account's running low, it's pretty easy to see why. Just take a glance at your last statement and you might find an Apple Store receipt or an expensive restaurant receipt. And the same thing can be applied to your energy. So you can do kind of a root cause analysis and figure out, where is my energy going? One of my favorite techniques for doing this is the 5 whys exercise. To use the 5 whys technique, grab your journal and start with your problem. Why don't I have the energy or the time to write? And then you answer that question. So maybe I'm too tired to write because I didn't get enough sleep. Why didn't I get enough sleep? Because I was up watching Netflix. Why was I up watching Netflix? Because I'm addicted to this series I'm watching. Why was that? So you can see how this works. Usually you go 5 levels deep, but you can even go deeper if you want to do further root cause analysis. So in the example of watching too much Netflix, one solution you might find for yourself is set a shutdown routine. So I will shut down at 9 p.m., turn off Netflix, turn off electronic devices, and get ready for bed, maybe read a book. This is just one example of how you can tackle managing your energy using the 5 whys technique. So now that you understand why you're too tired to write, you can look into options for fixing that. Sean McCabe used to be a night owl, and then he decided to try an experiment and write in the morning versus nighttime and compare the results. So he did this for several weeks, and after he compared the notes, he was actually shocked that he was writing basically twice as much in the morning versus in the evening. And so what this really showed was that he was more productive as a writer in the morning. There's research that backs this as well. So there's a book, When, that references a study they did where they took basically 500 million tweets and analyzed the energy levels of the people writing the tweets, and they found that in general our energy levels peak in the morning, cliff down to a low point in the afternoon, and then they slowly rise again in the evening. So based on this, it might be optimal to try writing in the morning, getting up a little early before you go to work instead of waiting till after work. This can also help you not procrastinate because you make writing your first priority for the day. So another way to optimize your energy while you're at work is to schedule breaks throughout your day. What I like to do is actually put them on my calendar so I get reminded, oh, it's time for your lunch break, it's time for your afternoon break, go for a walk. And this really helps conserve your energy throughout the day. Reminds me of the quote from The Shining, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. When I get home, I actually like to do an unwind activity. So before going right into writing, if I write after work, then I like to do something like meditate, maybe have dinner, have some relaxed time, then go into the writing mode. And that really recharges your energy and your willpower by having that kind of partition or break between your workday and your writing time. Another way to buy yourself some time is to start saying no to shallow things. So saying no to the shallow activity with maybe someone that's not your friend, but they want to go watch a movie. Say no to the shallow activity of another Netflix series that you're going to get hooked on. Say no to your app notifications, kind of taking you out of focus all the time. Just start saying no to these little things in your life, and you'll find that you have a lot of energy and time freed up from that. All right, so key takeaways for today. Number one is you want to figure out, where's my energy going? You can try using the 5 whys technique for that. And after you figure out where your energy is going, you'll be ready to optimize your writing time. That's number 2. And you can do that by trying to write, for example, in the morning before you go to work. And the third technique is to start scheduling breaks throughout your day and have a clear partition between your work day and your evening time. And another technique is to start saying no to more shallow things in your life and start saying yes to writing more. And finally, when your energy reserves are low, you can try setting a mini goal like write 50 words a day. This is one that I like in particular. All right, I hope you learned something in today's writing tips. If you want to learn more, there's about 7 more tips in the blog post about how to manage your energy when writing. There's also a link to a Don't Break the Chain printable, which can help you if you decide to set that 50 words per day goal to keep yourself accountable.